Good day everyone. For now, I will be discussing the administrative provision under the Section 1 of Base Service Section or equivalent office. But before we go into our topic, this is our learning objectives. First, to be able to familiarize with the revised Port Regulations Manual. Second, awareness of the duties and responsibilities of the Customs Operations Officers. We have Customs Senior Boarding Officers, Customs Inspector, Customs Wharfinger, Assistant Wharfinger, Customs Guard, and Customs Gatekeepers. Lastly, discuss the operational and miscellaneous provisions. And now, we're going to discuss the Section 1 Base Service Section or equivalent office. The Base Service Section is in charge of boarding formalities and entrance and clearance of foreign vessels. It is also supervises and implements security measures in the discharging, loading of import or export shipment as well as to incoming or going at billing crew, passengers, and visitors on board such vessels. The Base Service Section shall be headed by a chief who shall have direct supervision and control over the personnel therein. So, question: who shall wear the appropriate and prescribed uniforms and insignia, nameplate, customs badge, black shoes, and regulation cup? There will be answered the Section 2, Uniform and Insignia, Pier and Inspection Division. The Chief Base Service Section, Customs Senior Boarding Officers, Customs Inspector, Customs Guard, and Wharfingers shall always wear the appropriate prescribed uniforms and insignia, nameplate, customs badges, black shoes, and regulation cup. Question number 2. What are the duties and responsibilities of Customs Senior Boarding Officers? Under the Section 3, Duties and Responsibilities of Customs Operations Officer. Customs Senior Boarding Officers shall have the following duties and responsibility: board incoming foreign vessels outside the harbor unless prevented by the stress of weather. When the boarding vessels, he shall be assisted by the Customs Inspector. Obtain from the master of a vessel the necessary information as required in BOC OPM Form Number 15 or record of the vessel boarded. Seal C store is the presence of ship officers and the Customs Inspector assigned on board. See to it all Customs Inspector and Customs Guard on duties are in their proper prescribed uniform. See to it that a Customs Inspector assigned to a vessel is provided with the necessary stationery and supplies. Then, talking about the reports of Customs Senior Boarding Officers. First, upon his return from an official trip in the bay, they shall make all reports, entries, and other documents delivered to him by the master's agent or a customs inspector assigned on board vessels. He shall also prepare and submit to the Chief Base Service Section and make reports to the Customs Inspector and Customs Guard. And now, what are the duties and responsibilities of the Customs Inspector? So that will be answered under the Section 4 Duties and Responsibilities of Customs Operations Officers. 1. Or the Customs Inspectors. So the Customs Inspectors shall have the following duties and responsibilities. First, to supervise the discharge and unloading of cargoes and to supervise continuous surveillance to protect the interest of the Customs Service. Second, to be responsible for the proper disposal of all cargoes and stores on board vessels under their charge. Third, represent the Customs Service in his official relation with the passengers and agent and consignee. And 4. Stay in vessel to which he has been assigned until he is relieved by the proper authority. Then we have specific duties upon assuming charge of vessels. First, it shall be first duty of a customs inspector to assign a customs guard with the instructions not to allow person to the board of the vessels. Second, the customs inspector shall instruct customs guard to conduct the body searches. Third, while the vessel is docked, the customs inspector shall make periodic inspection. Fourth, if the vessel dock at night, he shall require proper lightening at the gangway. And the relationship of customs inspector with the customs guard and his supervision. He shall see to it that the customs guard are complete uniforms and present at neat and clean appearance. The customs inspector shall report to the customs senior boarding officer the explained absence of any customs guard. So again, he shall maintain a logbook to keep a record on events during his duty, to include customs guard seen ashore or to another vessel or official business specifying the following. We have the time of departure, nature of business, destination, where and when he is to report upon the completion of his business, time returned. And of course, after the permission of duty, report. So the customs inspector shall be immediately report the chief bay service section and submit all reports relative to his assignment to the letter who shall properly endure them. And upon submission, he shall register the time and date of his vessel departure. And the report of a customs inspector shall include and supporting document the following. Here, we have Dole Accomplishment Inspector Certificate of Lading, Shipside Permit, Accomplished Certificate of Inspection, Certificate of Date and Last Cargo Discharge, Clearance indicating the time and date sail, General Permit, and all shipping documents. And now, who shall supervise the receiving, handling, and releasing of shipment at the piers? And the answer is Port Utilization Section, that will supervise the receiving, handling, custody, monitoring, movement, and release of shipment at the pier. This will be headed by a chief who shall perform the following functions. Then we have in our screen, supervise all wharfingers, assistant wharfingers, guard, customs gatekeeper, act on all written reports, be responsible for the conduct of all personnel under high, require all wharfingers, assistant wharfingers, customs guard, and customs gatekeeper to be in complete uniform, assign his personnel as fairly as possible, exercise direct supervision, inspection inside the customs zones as frequent as possible, see to it all cargoes and transferred properly bonded carriers. Okay, another question. What are the duties and responsibilities of the wharfinger? So that will be answered in section 6, provided there, entitled Duties and Responsibilities of Assistant Customs Operations Officers Wharfingers. Of course, there shall be one wharfinger in charge of each pier. So take note, one only wharfinger in each pier. And he shall exercise effective supervision over the arrastre regarding receiving and delivery of cargoes. Now, when it comes to outside, one wharfinger in charge of outside who shall be responsible for the efficiency of discipline of customs personnel. He shall also receive the transfer note from the customs guard, and he shall supervise the stripping of the container. Okay, so another question. What are the duties and responsibilities of assistant wharfinger? And there will be answered in section 7, Duties and responsibilities of assistant customs operation officer or assistant wharfingers. So here are the duties and responsibilities of assistant customs officers or assistant wharfingers. So first, each cargo shed warehouse shall be under the direct charge and supervision of an assistant wharfingers. Second, prepares, rate, and submit rating to the wharfinger in charge of the pier, and also supervises the opening and closing of the cargo shed or warehouse, and also shall not allow an authorized person inside the cargo shed or warehouse. And he will also assist the wharfinger in charge of the pier and execute all his order. Now another question, what about duties and responsibilities of customs guards? So basically, that is already indicated in section 8, duties and responsibilities of assistant customs operations officers or customs guard. So at the pier, the customs guard himself see to it that no inflammable, dangerous, and obnoxious cargoes are discharged on the dock without permits. And of course, the outside of dock, he shall also see to it that no person is allowed to board the vessels without a pass, and also conduct body searches on all persons, and check cargoes being discharged, and also shall to see that no empty lighters stay along the piers without. Now, let's talk about the duties and responsibilities of customs gatekeepers. Okay, we have there section 9 entitled Duties and Responsibilities of Assistant Customs Officers or Designated Customs Gatekeepers. So first, the customs gatekeeper shall report at the terminal gate assigned to him and shall remain until properly relieved. Second, he shall not allow merchandise to pass through the gate without the gate pass, and also verifies and collect the customs copy gate pass. And also, customs gatekeepers assigned at the exit gates is required to open all empty containers to verify and shall keep record of the permit issued. And yes, reporting time. Under the same administrative provision, Section 10, Reporting Time of Customs Personnel. The reporting time for customs senior boarding officers, customs inspector, or customs guard are as follows. Shall observe regular working hours and also report for the duty at least 2 hours before the vessels, and estimated time of arrival in 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then, we have section 11 entitled Meals and Accommodations for Designated Customs Inspector and Customs Guard. A. On board vessels. When necessary, the customs senior boarding officers shall invite the master to customs regulation which require the serving of meals and suitable accommodation to customs inspector and guard on board. B. To output travel expenses. The customs inspector and customs guard shall be allowed suitable accommodation for board and lodging. And now, we are down to the last section for the administrative provision. We have section 12, Leave of Absence. So the application for vacation leave shall be filed and approved before such leave of absence is enjoined by any officer or employee and last prevented by beyond his control.